All right, so we're back, and tonight we've got Sam joining us. I'll just let everybody introduce themselves quick.
Hi everyone, it's Sam, also known as Evilmorty.
I'm Sean, repping the Under the Hedge gaming t-shirt today.
Nice.
I'm Clarence, also known as Ariakas.
I'm Jordan, also known as Obyiscus.
Awesome. So last night we got through half of the factions, and we're just gonna jump right in tonight, and we are gonna start off tonight with the Targaryens. So I know Sam just won a tournament with them. First time I ever played Clarence, he was running them, and last time I played Jordan in the earlier Rumble in the Riverlands, he won that tournament with them. So I know three of you play them a good amount. Sean, I don't know if I'm guessing you have never played them, or
I
maybe
haven't
on
played
TTS.
as them in physical space, but I played against them plenty.
Okay, and I've tried them a few times. So yeah, let's jump in, and we'll just go bottom up as we were doing last night and start with the units.
Cool.
So we got the Unsullied Swordmasters.
We haven't heard from Sam much. Why don't Sam lead the way here?
Okay, so yeah, it's definitely a buff. That's great. Me personally, I usually play Swordmasters with Marcelin. So you've got the double dauntless heal on morale test. So restore. They're already relatively resistant. 4 armor is good. For morale, very good. So now you can heal up to 2 on a past morale test. That's just great because you've got Warcry in your deck. So if you're a first player, well, actually I think it's when you activate unit in that card, so you can heal 2 before you choose your action, which is great. So yeah, I wasn't expecting a buff on the Unsullied, either Swordman or Pikeman, but I really like that. That's excellent ability. Bit tough because Targaryen don't have built-in method to deny control of a zone other than taking the zone, like Baratheon have with Alistair. So no, I love that change.
Awesome. And so just to clarify for everybody, it's the combat mastery resolve has been added, and that is the only change here. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so my take on that is, Sam just said that he didn't expect him to get buffed. I think it's really important that they got buffed, because I think there's a feeling amongst players that most infantry generally aren't very good. You take infantry because you kind of have to. You need a bunker for your commander, unless you play Free Folk or Greyjoys, who pretty much only have infantry. Almost every other faction, your infantry have a very specific job. They got to be archers with long range firepower, and most people take a lot of cav because cav is just more flexible. So I'm really glad that they're buffing up foot infantry, melee infantry, and making them meaningful, more meaningful anyway, right? And you'll see that theme with the pikemen. You'll see that theme with the Castle Rock Honor Guard. I think it's really good that they're making slow, predictable foot troops dangerous and better.
I like the idea of combat mastery as well from a design standpoint. It's very thematic, right? The Unsullied are all about controlling the swords.
Awesome.
So cool, cool little change.
All right, let's see their cousins.
So yeah, we got the Unsullied Pikemen, and they've got the combat mastery defense.
Yeah. So that was a unit that you didn't want to attack, and you even less want to attack it than before, because you get damage, you don't deal a lot of damage, and then you deal even less damage. So it's cool. It's definitely a buff. Definitely, of course. It won't change, I think, much how people play against them, because still, well, you just want to shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
For one, you're gonna attack them with range. You're gonna attack them. Good thing is you attack them only if you have a way to remove orders, like the
Winter's
start
coming.
winter is coming, or others. So don't get attacked. But now, if the Stark player don't have the sword, you still have something to defend yourself against the attack. Unless it's Great John, then you just die. So
One
so
nice
yeah, no, it's
thing.
interesting.
One nice thing about it is it isn't just targeting them; it's anyone engaged with them. So
Oh, that's the same as Disrupt, though.
yeah, no, I'm saying it
Yeah,
is nice
yeah,
that they
it's
like that is something that as you're saying, no one really attacks pikemen in melee, but
yeah, exactly.
if the pikemen can go in and are supporting one of your squishier units, like
Yeah,
like
and
a Hrothgar, right? Hrothgars
quiz
die to a
question.
stiff
Quick
breeze.
question for you guys: is there a way to put Disrupt in them? Do
I just
Targaryen
looked.
have access to that?
No, the only
No.
Targaryen disrupt is on Cav.
Yep.
Good answer, Jordan.
I've got my phone here and I'm going through War Council looking to see if there's a way to put Disrupt on it because that was my first
No.
thought. You
You
double
can give
stack
them
that.
Counter Strike though. If Grey Worm's in them,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
Counter
yeah.
Strike. So that's
No, Grey Worm is if you have Grey Worm in them with battle endurance, they're just like monsters.
So two really good buffs right away, and now we've got Jorah Mormont, the Wandering Knight.
Yeah. Is it me or did they? I didn't even go through like the full log, but did they buff his morale also? Was he always 3+ morale?
I feel like he was always 3 at the last patch, and
Yeah.
then what they added was that third bullet under Westerosi Rider.
Okay. So that's it. Okay. No, that's amazing. Only thing is, like I would so love to have that in Starks. A unit like that, I would love to have that in Starks.
oh,
Here, of course, is good, but the Targaryen are not good because of their deck. So
I would
that's
give up
definitely
every 6-point
to
melee
get to have that
infantry.
in your.
I'll give up Vipers and Dervishes if
Oh, for sure.
if Jorah can join Martells, because
Well, I would give up the dervishes for like a bucket of apples, and then Dune Vipers are
I'll
okay
give up Retinue, Vipers, and Dervishes if Martells
to
get
have that.
Jorah. How about that?
I think
Yeah, yeah.
if Jorah could be put in any faction, they'd take him. Auto
Yeah,
include
yeah,
almost.
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I still don't know if Targs will bring him more because he's giving them something, but the problem, he still has the issue of, for 4 points, he still dies
Yeah, he dies
if
so
anything
fast.
looks at him. There's
Yeah.
a lot of things in the game now that can get to him.
Yeah.
But he's great long range
And
support.
that's why
And the Targ deck is better, but it's still not that good, right? Like, the reason, other than the fact that Martell's won a 4-point unit, Martell's would die for him because Martell's have an amazing deck, so
Mhm.
giving extra cards is a big deal. The
Yeah.
weaker your deck, the less valuable that type of ability
Of
is.
course. So the perfect fit for him, I think. Like I wouldn't play him in Marcellin. The list I had at Get Snow, I wouldn't trade the Hrakar for Jorah because it's too much of a offensive list. I need the Hrakar to skirmish, and I have no card that I absolutely want in my hand. When I draw with well, yes, devotees, but that's why I have Missandei, but that's another thing. But like when I draw, I'm like, okay, I'm not like when you play a dart and you want Fury for the Fallen or Great John when you want Berserker Tactic. There's no card that I want, so I wouldn't take him necessarily. When he can be very good, I think. With Mother of Dragon, of course, he can be good. But other than that, it's with Khal Drogo. I think for 3 reasons. First reason is because you want to upgrade your chance to get right by attack and to get assault order in your hand. Second reason, Jorah is better than Hrakar in this list because you can actually play right by on Jorah, and it's really fun to play right by attack on Jorah and dealing 4 wounds to a big unit with him. That's really excellent. And last reason well, that's not a specific reason to add him in Drogo, but my advice, and this is always something I keep in mind when I list build, I never have Jorah in both my list in tournament. I have it only in one list because if I match with Nightwatch and he has Scorpion or Hotel, he's just gonna die. If you have Varys, he's just gonna die. So you can have him in one list only, not two.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Makes
'Cause
sense.
the scorpion or the giant spear thrower or the skirmishers
Yeah,
will
just gonna
hunt him
kill him.
down.
Yeah. So
Or,
then you take dragons
or
and you have
Doran.
Or New Doran will just
Yeah.
Blink him
finish
down.
him off.
Yeah.
Honestly, or just like a Roynish vengeance morale save on him, right? Like off the crown, we'll just kill him.
Yep.
There's him being 3. Like, part of me really would like to see his armor go up to 3. Like, I don't know why he isn't.
why he would. Yeah.
He's his whole thing was that he
Well-
was talking to the Dothraki about, hey, look, I actually wear armor.
Yeah,
And he's a knight, and we know that Westerosi knights are generally armor
Yeah,
3.
he's like the riders of Highgarden. He forgot his shield, so they have less good armor.
That's fair. Well, then that can realistically, I was gonna say either I'd like to see him get an
Yeah.
armor or 1 more wound, right? Like
Yeah.
the difference between 3 and 4 wounds is really big. 3
Yeah.
wounds is he is 1 normal crown zap away from dying,
Absolutely. And
and he does.
so like many other changes in this patch, it's like okay, cool, but like it's just like I don't care. Okay, like yeah, he gives me +1 card now. It's nothing. Nothing exciting. It's good, of course. It's a buff. It's a plus.
I think
but
he's
it's
playable. Though.
really like yeah. He's better than before. That's for sure. But yeah, like many things in this patch, it's like okay, cool.
It's a step forward.
Yeah.
And I
If
think
you
it's
play
a good
cards-
support piece.
Well,
You
I think
have
for
him-
him
you
it's
have
a
him
step
sit
back,
on-
or a positive step back to where he was. Right, he used to be everywhere. Like
Right.
3
We've had-
points.
we've had
main
1
reason.
patch without him.
I think before.
All right, well, we're gonna move on from Jorah, but it looks like he might be back.
I think 4 HP would
Alright.
have been the change.
Okay.
All right, so
Tactics
we got
cards.
some tactics cards. Adravat.
So it's my favorite change in the patch, in Targaryen, in the game mechanic overall. So if you combine this change with Doran, and correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong, but there's no more mechanic in the game that allow you to win free victory points.
I thought so too. Someone pointed out that Jaime Lannister
Named hostage.
still exists.
Okay, yeah, but not with tactics card or
Right.
NCUs. But yeah, sure, yeah, or Rickon, yeah, of course. Okay.
Rickon, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
so Rickon is a you're giving up one.
yeah, but
Those
it's not.
still exist, but Jaime Lannister is a way you can do something to give yourself a free one. But
Sure.
for the most part, yes, they got rid of the free VP.
So they changed. They basically, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but they changed one tactic card per commander because every commander, except Marcelin, had a way to win 1 extra victory point, or give 1 extra victory point. So
Queen
now
of Marine also didn't.
it didn't. Okay, cool. So Adrivat now it's actually playable because before it was such a weird timing, like when Khal Drogo activates, but then if you activate Drogo too early, it's not good. If you activate him late and play the card and you don't kill the unit, then you just give a VP. So it was just a weird card. Now you just play it. It gives crit blow. Crit blow is good always. So that's a good card now. Before I was just cycling it every time to get to ride by or assault order. Now I depending on the situation, I might keep it in my hand.
I think you're still probably, unless you have the cards you need and are going to use, like I still think it'll usually be a cycle card, but it will be used more.
Because like screamers are good, but screamers with crit blow, that's fucking scary. They can wipe a tray with a good roll. So or even Rakars, they don't hit hard. They have 5 dice, but you roll 2 crits, that's 7 hits. Then with a vicious field panic test, that can be a lot of wounds. So I agree, it's gonna be a cycle, but it's gonna be played more for sure.
Cool. Then we got Warcry. Seems like Warcry got a small change, I believe, in the bottom, where now most Warcries are give one of the two tokens, vulnerable or panicked, and then if it's the commander's unit, you get both. But I think all of them have been switched so that it's not just the commander's unit. In this case, it's Marceline or Unsullied. You get both tokens, so it's a small buff. I guess also encouraging you to take more of that unit with that commander. Like Marceline is a Unsullied commander, you would expect him to be around more Unsullied. So it's nice little change. I like Marceline already. He's one of the few hard commanders that can give you tokens. You know, lots of his cards have utility with Devastating Impact and He's the Dragon. I can't remember his fourth card actually.
Supply Aid.
It's the Supply Aid, which is huge as well.
Yeah,
yeah
no, Marceline has some good cards.
Yeah.
I believe it was all of them got some sort of Commander Plus, but I can't remember if Asha does. I know the Stark one did, but I don't know if Asha did.
Yeah, the Stark one did. Asha, I don't know.
I'll look it up right now.
So I know the Stark one is with Tully's.
Tully's, yeah.
Yeah, and Asha didn't. She didn't have any friendly.
I guess there's no theme. There's no theme for her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Queen's Law. I never played. Well, no, I did play that commander once just to get the badge. I don't know what's that card.
Yeah, neither do I. Barely use this guy. Wow, so this is actually a pretty big buff to the card because the Queen's
what did it do
Law
before?
Is so the top part's the same, but the bottom part is just what Sam mentioned in that it's one of those giveaway VP cards. So the top part's the same while attached during your opponent's turns. This unit loses all abilities and cannot be targeted by friendly tactics cards. The old version was when that enemy is destroyed, gain an extra point. If this card is removed and they weren't destroyed, then you give away a point. So no one likes those cards because you might give away VPs. They took that out and instead they replaced it with if Kahazu's unit or Brazen Beast unit, nice, charges this unit, you just count as rolling a 6 automatically, which is pretty huge. Makes for some long bomb charges, especially because they have cards like Swift Reposition, which can give you another 2-3 inches of movement as well. Yeah, so if you want Unsullied to charge 11 plus 2 or 3, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I do
like these change. They're okay because they remove the point thing, but again, it's changes. I don't really know. Like this commander has pick rate of not even like 2% for the faction, so no one actually plays him. I know they wanted to remove the 1 point, but it's just a bit boring for me.
I do like that him and the two Unsullied commanders they're actually bringing in these not quite affiliation things, but bring in these reasons to make you want to bring thematic lists, like bringing Brazen Beast in an army with him, or bringing Unsullied with
like a Stark with the mini faction inside the faction.
Yeah,
so
I really like that as well.
Chris, can we go right to left for this one because Danny's got more cards above? Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
Betrayal.
Betrayal is actually a fun card.
Betrayal used to be just a cool. Am I down like 1 or 2 point, 1 point near the end, instant point? Haha, I win. I think they just got rid of the points in this. Otherwise, I think it's
no. Well, they got rid of the point, but the vulnerable and weaken, I don't think it was there. I think it was draw because now you replace on effect. You draw 2 cards. You restore 3 wounds to Jorah's unit. And then you give 2 tokens. So 2 cards, 2 tokens, 3 wounds. That's just like, oof.
And I thought it used to not have a way to come off. Also, didn't your opponent used to attach it to one of your units instead of attaching it to Jorah's unit?
That's possible. Yeah, that's possible. But now, it goes on Jorah. You have to kill a unit, but you play Targ, so that's gonna happen. And you get 1 wound. Who cares? You just heal 3. So
so it used to be your opponent attached it. It only did the healing, and it used to be 1 tactics. You got 1 tactics card, 1 victory point, 3 wounds on Jorah, and then your opponent attached it to a different unit. Well, it doesn't need to be a different any one of your units, and then each time that unit activated, they suffered a wound.
A brutal card. That's a brutal card.
So the old one, the other big thing here is it used to not have a way to come off.
Okay.
So now you can play this.
Yeah.
And then let's say you play this and you have an opponent like on 1 or 2 wounds, finish them off, and now the downside of the card is like gone.
Yeah, that's
You
pretty
can even do it off that claim, I guess, right? Oh no, it's replaced. Never mind.
It is replaced, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, never mind. That's pretty
It's a
cool.
monster card. I like that they're getting rid of victory points from tactics cards and other
Yeah,
sources.
yeah.
Jamie, I'm on the fence with. It's we'll see.
Yeah.
You know what? He isn't. When was the last time you saw Jamie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never.
exactly.
That one, yeah. All right, so
right.
Grey Worm.
Retribution of the Dragon. I actually lost a game once to this card, but okay, target the attacker.
This used to be one of the pretty like decent ones.
Well, that's brutal. Also, that's not bad at all.
So it used to be when. So it used to be when a friendly unit is destroyed,
Yeah, like a revenge
not just attacked. Then this attached them, and then when that was attached, if that enemy got killed, you got a victory point, and then when that enemy was attacked, if Grey Worm was in short range, they became vulnerable. So now they've changed it to you don't need to lose a unit to play the card, which is big. It means it's a lot easier to play this card. Because it used to be like you'd get that card and be like, well, am I going to hold it until a unit dies and then hope to get a VP? But now it's, oh, cool, I got attacked. I'll play this card on you. It's attached forever, right?
Forever,
There's no way to remove it. Anyone attacking that unit now has Vicious, always, which is
Nice with Unsullied.
really nice.
Yeah.
And then if they're near Grey Worm, sorry, if it's Grey Worm or an Unsullied unit doing an attacking, they also become vulnerable. Like that's nasty. Factor in the fact that, Grey Worm's unit and the
battle.
Unsullied have a high chance of maybe having battle endurance and things like that.
Yeah.
Free trait and free token on an ability that stays forever.
Yeah, it really is just like putting a clock on the unit that attacked. They don't even need to do damage to you.
No.
They could just whiff completely.
It also applies to ranged attacks.
I just was thinking that. What if a shot misses?
Yeah.
No,
that's cool.
he's talking about the Vicious applies to range attacks.
I'm talking about both.
Yeah.
Friendly
Oh,
is attack. The
sick. I
attacker
didn't
could
notice
be
that.
ranged, and then the counter attack could be ranged as well.
Ooh, you know what? This makes me want to play Grey Worm and try him out.
Your Bolton Bowman attack my unit. Oh, cool. Now my Outriders have Vicious against your Bowman just getting shot.
And you could put this, you would never want to do this, but you could theoretically put Grey Worm in a ranged unit. And then that way, every time they're shooting back at range, they're getting Vicious plus vulnerable.
Does he have Boldness and Courage?
He does. Boldness and
Yeah,
Courage
why
and Counter
wouldn't
Strike.
you
Oh.
Put him in Golden Company Crossbows.
GCH?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Now
hang on.
Sundering Vicious vulnerable 7 dice.
It's not insane.
You're not getting value from Counter Strike, but I'm okay with the rest of it.
Well, you
So-
could get value for Counter Strike if someone ever attacks you. At least maybe you'll do a plank. Like realistically, Counter Strike is not
great on those guys
unless you're stacking negative mods. Realistically, Counter Strike's usually not doing that much.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. It's good now in the Spearman.
Yeah, it's true. Good in the Spearman
True.
still. Well,
Yes.
this is definitely worth considering.
Golden Company Crossbowman's a good shout.
Yeah.
You could also go Stormcrows. Stormcrows are in faction.
So we got
Stormcrows as
Thunder
well.
Treat. I believe this is the smallest of changes. I believe it now says
Wording.
something like target the defender, and that's it. I think
Yes.
that's the
Yeah.
only
The
change.
targeting language is what changed.
Cool.
Maybe it's relevant, maybe it's not. So I guess things that cancel targeting stuff, Barristan and so on, I suppose it matters.
Yeah, it makes it so I think it's for Starks, their thing that lets it so the defender can't be targeted.
Oh yeah, Winter's coming. That's
Winter's
true, yeah.
coming now turns it off, whereas before it
Yep.
didn't.
Hunter's Insight, that kind of stuff. So yeah, just be a little more specific, but 99% of the time it'll be the same. And now we're playing with fire.
The Mother
Mother
of cards.
Dragons.
No, it's just Mother
Oh.
of. These are the
Mother of. Oh my lord! Look at this typo.
Mother of all typos.
That is on all of her cards in this.
Oh jeez.
Daenerys Targaryen, mother of question mark.
All right, so I do love me some Mother Dragon, so I might speak up a little bit here. So first card's Fire Made Flesh. This is the clutch Mother Dragons card. When you play Mother Dragons, you're running around with 2 or 3 dragons, and this is what's going to keep your dragons alive and healthy. It gives them take 1 wound for 2 hits, kind of like resilience, kind of like giants. But what's critical about this card is the bottom part. So the bottom part you used to remove Overrun, because once upon a time dragons were insane, super OP, and to curb them in, they lowered their stats, took away their range attack, and they didn't give you Overrun. So you couldn't kill something with a dragon and then overrun to another target, reined in their death potentially. And now they've given it back. You now take away field control, which is kind of a meh card. It gives you a shift here and there. It gives you an extra extra inch of movement here and there. No one really cares. So to have Overrun as a tool in your toolbox is incredibly dangerous when you're running around with 2 or 3 dragons.
Well, and when those dragons can start making extra attacks.
Yes.
Which we'll get to that buff too.
Next card coming. Oh, anyone want to add anything else, bud?
No, it's a good card. It's probably the card you're using Danny's like card recursion on.
Yeah.
Like you will be, if you get 3 of her cards in the game, that's the 3 cards you want.
And Overrun's back on the menu, baby. That's the best part. So now I got Promise of Fire. This card was pretty bad before. Basically, it was her VP generation. I believe the way it used to work was if an enemy NCU was to claim a zone, if they took the zone, you pick a unit, they take a panic test, and then if that unit dies to a dragon attack, you get a bonus VP. But if the unit doesn't die, you gave up a VP. So you never played this card. This card was on cycle 99% of the time. Now it's a real card. So not only did they remove the bogus VP stuff, the penalty for taking a zone is pretty massive. The panic test, who cares? It's the fact that when you now stick this onto an enemy combat unit, and every time a dragon attacks it, instead of rolling a d3, it's just a flat 3 plus ranks for wounds. So you're just doing max damage all the time with dragons. Now, of course, the enemy NCU does not have to take a zone, right? So they can be like, okay, that's too big of a penalty. I won't take a zone. But that's huge too. When they lead the round and they want to take a sword or a bag, to deny them that tactic zone, it was very, very significant. So I love what this card has become.
As someone that like always rolls 1s on my dragon damage, I appreciate this card.
Yeah,
I had a nice guy at Gatineau. It was really great. It's on camera, Chris. You can show it when you do the battle report. It's the worst snake eyes I got in my career. I played.
And then we got. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was empathizing with the snake eyes.
I had a snake eyes on my dragon attack the other day. And then we got Dracarys. So most of Danny's cards used to cycle. Most of the Targaryen deck, when you're playing with dragons, you're going to cycle because most of the cards don't help dragons. You don't need Fire and Blood for the most part. You don't need Unstoppable Advance usually. Like situationally, you would, but most cards were cycle. And this card often you cycle because the restriction back then was it lets you attack, it lets you sacrifice her action more or less to give a dragon an attack. But the caveat was that you had to be in short range. And you were not often in short range. I mean, it depends on your build. But my build with Danny was to put her in archers. Some people put Danny in more aggressive units like pikemen or unsullied pikemen and so on. In that case, maybe you're in range. But the fact that they made it long range just makes the card more playable. And a dragon, sacrificing your attack for a dragon attack is almost always worth it, especially if Promise of Fire is kicked in. So I love this little change.
So just a quick recap because I got cut off for a second. So this Dracarys went from short range to long range, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Promise of Fire got good. And the Fire Made Flesh.
Yep.
If I understood, you remove field control, which is a stupid card, and you put back Overrun. Before it was Overrun that was out. Okay.
That's right.
So just 3 massive buffs.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
she has one
good.
more buff coming too.
And
Yes.
she got
For
the
commander card. Yeah.
We'll get there in a second.
cool.
We
Okay.
can talk about it now. We're on the topic
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
So
she got threatened.
She gained threatened.
Amazing.
Threatened, such a big deal because again,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
trying to keep the dragons alive. You know, if you were to pick 2 dragons, you always pick Drogon and Rhaegal because you want the weakened token. The vulnerable token's absolutely useless, but the weakened token's just clutch to making sure that any night charges, any bow shots, anything is just blunted against your squishy dragon. So it's a very, very significant buff for Danny.
Yeah, I do find it amusing now that both Danny commanders have threatened.
Yes.
Like last patch they gave other Danny threatened, which makes Danny now the most he is the most threatening character in the game.
That's right.
It's a good design, it's thematic, and it fits the playstyle of the dragons, so it's just nice to see that.
She just starts flapping her arms like
all she does is threaten people in the books.
That's right.
It's true. Does that whole crossroad of dead people pointing at the direction, you know, like
you mean my activation banners.
Okay, so I'm reading Legendary Boldness. That's actually a cool card.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool card. A friendly unit, long range, roll defense dice, auto pass the panic test. Wow. That's so funny against Lannisters.
It's so much better than his old card.
Yeah.
Which I'm looking up right now.
His old card was it's his victory point card, and it just required so many steps. I can't remember what I think it was like. You needed to activate it at a specific time, and then you needed to end engaged with a unit and be alive or something
and get your victory point.
This card might be a rare instance where you just never use the start of turn draw card, because this card's just so good. You might even hold on to it turn 1.
Yeah.
That's rare. Usually, if you have a start of turn draw 1, there's many situations where you just say, even though this is a good card, I'm going to use the cycle. But
yeah, it's almost like Unbound Unbent in Martell's, where this is going in many ways it's better. It's auto pass morale on its own is already really good. Auto pass morale plus blocking 2 hits.
And there's
you can give the -2 morale to another unit, so it is similar, but yeah, the auto pass is
no, I mean it's similar in that it's one of those cards that I was agreeing that you don't discard. You're going to hold this because it's going to matter. Now, you know, in certain builds it will matter less, right? Like Unsullied, if you're going Unsullied heavy, you know, your morale is less of a concern. But you know, on Swordmasters, those extra 2 hits is a big deal.
But he has a sustained assault in his deck, so he's a bad commander. Unfortunately.
You can ignore sustained assault. It's okay.
Yeah.
There's 2 occasions when you draw off this, I guess, if you're playing against giants or dragons, because they're auto wounds and not hits. It's like
no, giants are hits now.
Oh yeah, sorry, they've changed. But you don't roll defense.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's still a hit. It's like
you're right.
Yeah. And auto passing against dragons, kind of relevant.
Yeah, there's vicious.
Aren't they wounds though, dragons?
No, passing the panic test.
Oh, I see. Sorry,
yeah. Still relevant.
Yes, it's another commander. It's not really played. The 1.72% player rate in August.
Well, his commander ability is still not the best, right? And like,
no, he's not the best at all. He's like
this won't make him the better choice. He's gonna need more love.
Yeah.
What about Belwas? What do we think about count the cuts?
Boring.
Okay.
So it used to be you could play it on your unit once they lost a rank. They couldn't heal, and then they counted, I think, as max ranks and got the rerolls, and then if they could kill a unit, then they would score a VP. Essentially let you know, try not to die before you could kill something to score a VP. Now it's just, decent. It's good. You just now always get highest attack dice.
It's an easy trigger. It's good if you're locked in on somebody. Highest attack dice plus reroll. If you're not having to get the charge bonus.
Oh, that's interesting. So you wouldn't put him in Unsullied Swordsman, just Pikeman, I guess. Yeah. Well, Pikeman's not even that great because they roll 7/7/4, I think, right?
Yeah. One thing too is it doesn't necessarily have to be Belwas's unit. The +1 to morale is nice, but the benefits are good for anyone, really. The top part.
Hey, throw it in Stormcrow Dervishes. These guys are good. They're in faction.
Dervishes, maybe Golden Company.
Yeah, but I'm talking
you know
in
what?
faction. Let's talk in
Or-
faction stuff first.
Or Screamers. Screamers drop hard, right? 7-4.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. This does not say if oh my gosh, yeah. Screamers love this card.
Yeah, 7-4 and rerolling all the time is pretty big.
It also works on range attacks. It
Yeah,
doesn't
so you get free
specify.
rolls with the Outriders and the Veterans.
Ooh,
So on
rerolls
the
on
Dothraki with
Ideally, your
Hose.
Outriders
That's a
don't get
cursed
hit.
unit.
Ideally, your Outriders don't get hit by melee attack, but
Can you imagine the mind games of like charging in your veterans and staying in combat? Be like, yes, hit me. I want rerolls.
in all fairness, veterans usually do charge in, then they get hit, swift retreat out. Which
That's
actually imagine
really-
that, right?
that's actually very good to
you
veterans.
move, shoot, charge in, they punch you back, you play this card, swift retreat back.
You know
But
what? I
it could
actually
be
haven't
any
used-
card if you play it on. So
Actually,
you put
vets might be the
Belwas,
best for
let's
this.
say you put Belwas, let's say in the pikeman, the Untitled pikeman, and once they get attacked, you put it on the target defender, on the. Okay, no. So target the defender. Okay, I didn't say anything.
But
Forget
vets
that.
vets the big
Yeah,
weak
with
the
the
big thing with
veteran, it
vets
can
is
work.
they degrade so quickly, right? Like
Yeah.
once they lose a rank pretty quickly, and once they lose that rank, their shots and their melee really doesn't do much. But
Mhm.
if they can be okay, so vets, maybe Belwas, maybe that's where we play our vets now.
I haven't tried the new vets yet with the 4+ armor save, you know?
They're better, but and maybe now with Jorah coming back, because like last patch when I was playing them, you didn't like Jorah was kind of
Man, I
really
might
sad.
be
So
running a lot of targets this season.
it's always targets are always fun.
You can swift retreat after they get attacked too.
Yeah, that's what we were talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, sorry. Yeah.
They
Okay,
get attacked,
so
play the
there
card,
we
and
go.
then swift retreat.
Storm
Yeah.
crew unit improved armament didn't change. Motivated
This
by
is
quote
just
change for
the
everyone.
yeah.
Coin.
We
Yeah. Actually, quickly on
discussed
that thing we were just talking about, what we described was illegal. You actually couldn't play that card on the vets and swift retreat because
You're
both
right.
of them are
Yeah.
after melee attack.
Same window.
Okay, that's it for targets, I believe.
Cool.
So it seems like I mean I actually just ordered Targ Heroes 3 because I'm definitely gonna play them a bit now.
They're fun. They're always a fun faction, and when in doubt, you can always just go back to playing all cav, and all cav is always fun. So
Yeah. You know, like Sam, I know that you're expressing like not enough changes, but I can honestly tell you I'm actually kind of excited to try some of this new stuff out.
Oh no, for sure. No, me the thing I was most worried is they change too much and the game becomes unbalanced again. Because now
That's
the
way
season
worse.
was
That's
great.
way
Me,
worse.
I love that not too much change, but it's just that the things they changed, it's just like things we don't that are not really played all that much. Like the Unsullied, sure, Jorah, sure, he's gonna be played more, but like in the Baratheons, well, what we have here, that's like one of the stupid changes.
Yeah.
on
Speaking
the-
of imbalanced
okay,
changes, this is why I
yeah,
made
okay.
that face when you said that.
I need
What's
to
on the
leave.
screen.
I can't even look at these guys, so I need to
Alright.
leave. Anyways,
Alright, see
talk to you guys later.
Okay, see you.
See you, Jordan.
Okay, so there's two options here. It's either that's what they designed they wanted to do, or the wording is bad and they didn't do it on purpose and it's supposed to be
we should
plus
probably
one.
talk about what Sam's talking about here. So the
Yeah,
big
right.
change, not only did they take the regular lance hit, right, where now they're 5/4, so only 9 packs in the charge. The significant change of these guys is the second bullet for High Garden Lance. Now it's also called High Garden Lance, not just Lance.
Not length, yeah. So that was on purpose, of course.
Yeah. So it says when charging, gain +1 to hit and rolls 2 dice for each. Okay, let me rephrase that. When charging, comma, gains +1 to hit and rolls 2 attack dice for each of this unit's remaining ranks. Sam, tell us the problem.
Okay, so as I said, two options. Either it's worded correctly or it's not worded correctly. If it's worded correctly, that's a 6-point unit. move 6, so it means that in cavalry they will reach you before you reach them, unless you play against someone that is still learning the game. So they will be a 6-point unit that hit 9 dice, target 2. You can place a bug if you want. Of course, it's gonna save you like maybe 1.5 hits average. That's still gonna be a lot. So that's I didn't look like the average calculator, but that's usually with rerolls. That's 8 or 9 hits with Sundering for a 6-point unit. Like me, I'm sorry, if I go to tournaments and I want to win, I play Baratheon, I take a list and I put 4 of them in my list. Maybe not 4, maybe 3, and then you just double tap units until they die, and you win the game because you remove units one by one.
I think in
And
Prey that this is just a grammatical like typo.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's maybe it is. I hope it is because what it tells us, if it is what it is designed, it's that like they've got no idea what they're doing for this. Like to put out a unit like this without changing the point value, giving +2 to hit to a unit that had problem hitting to a faction that has a lot of ways to remove weekend tokens. That's just irresponsible for me. And I know it's not all players. I know players that love to spam units in in their list. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
So for this, it can be really nasty. If I play the Dothraki list I had at Gatineau, and I'm facing 4 of these guys, I'm like, fuck, man, I've got no game plan. And even the dragons, it's not better. So
Yeah.
other option is that they did not do this on purpose, that the wording is off, and it should be +1 to hit when they charge, and then +2 attack dice per rank. So they would hit on 3 plus 9 dice. That's good. That I have no problem.
More fair.
Yeah, that's fair. It's
Weekend will
6
be a
points.
50, not a 50
Yeah,
50, but you know, it'll be
yeah,
more
yeah,
effective.
exactly. Because right now, as they were bad. Yeah, when I saw them in my enemy list, I'm like, nice. I'm gonna win this game. So because I'm gonna just remove them in a unit quick, and then Baratheon out activate. They're useless. So they needed a buff, and that would be the good buff. But then again, it shows that they somewhat don't know what they're doing, because it's just like you put out a unit, and there's a major mistake. People already play games. It's patch was yesterday, so it's more or less 2 days. If it was wrong, they should have put errata right away. Like say, no, guys, that's we made a mistake. It should be +1 to hit and then +2 per rank. They didn't, so we have to assume that's gonna be it for the season. They did a hotfix once with the GCS. Maybe they'll do one here.
Yeah.
Now on the other side, they're not thinking at all. So once they charge you, if you survive, you're gonna kill them for sure. So we'll see. But giving +2 to hit to a unit like that's irresponsible for me.
They didn't release an FAQ either. So the word on the street is that there'll be an FAQ dropping, you know, weeks down the road, right?
Yeah.
So how would you point them to make this fair if this is written in the first way, where they're getting +2 to hit? What's their point cost? Because right now it's 6, right?
6. Yeah. Well, like that, it would be 7, but 7 points, I would be okay.
You're only stopping at 7?
Yeah, because they're not thinking.
Still paper. Still paper.
Yeah,
still paper, but it's a paper bullet.
Paper bullets.
That's not. I don't think they're worth 8 points.
No, not 8.
No.
I might argue 8. They've got one-shot potential, and if you run, you know, like you said, 3 of them,
yeah,
you're just deleting a unit at will.
Maybe
I did
maybe
check the wording.
7 would be.
Yeah, fair.
Right.
I did check the wording on Lannister supremacy, and it is worded the same way, so it would be consistent.
It's absolutely as it is right now. Because if they give FAQ, they can FAQ all they want. If they don't change the card, it is what it is. They need to change the card. They need to errata the card if they want to change it.
So add a comma, I think, after hit.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So I think the issue here is proofreading, which we see in all the other cards as well. I think they kind of went a little too quick on this one, or I don't know, or maybe too cheaply. I don't know if this is their primary game that they care about anymore, but.
Baby starting to move. I might leave, but for now it's still not making sound, so we'll see.
Okay.
Should we go to Stark? That makes sense to, or let's finish Baratheon.
Okay.
Regroup and reform. I know they made the same change for Free Folk.
And we read this card and we didn't see a single difference.
Yep. There's
not even in the wording.
No, there's just an enter that's been added. And the difference was
normal.
As normal and as usual.
Replacing one model as normal versus as usual. Yeah, that's all we saw.
They removed normal from their language in the game.
Okay.
I don't remember what changed here.
So it's a wording change that has no game effect, which okay, sure. Tactical approach, this I like. This I like.
Okay, let's talk about this card.
Yeah, just dealing +3, it's ridiculous. But I think, do they still have to expend token?
Yes.
Yeah, they still have expend token +1. No, it's all right. But
so,
now is it still worth it on a unit that's not Stannis?
No.
It's not, because you want to remove a weekend for 1 wound?
Unless you're putting it back again somehow.
Somehow, yeah. Do you want
like
Wardens or something like that? Yeah, maybe.
Roll a 1 on defense.
I would say it's good if you're playing like Giants.
Yeah.
It's good if you're playing if you need that extra wound to kill a unit, because it went from a card that was really good, of course. Like it was arguably one of the best cards in the game.
Oh yeah.
Any faction would love to have that card in their deck. That's for sure. And now it went to like, should I play it? Should I not play it? Is it good? No. So that's a big nerf. So the first part, I'm not sure. Stannis +2 wounds. That's all right. That's reasonable. +3 was too much.
Yeah.
+2 wound. +2 wound is perfect.
Yeah.
The +1, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think what I would have liked to have seen from this card is +1 wound no matter what. +1 wound. +2 wounds instead if you discard the token.
Yeah.
So then you have a tactical choice on.
But it still has to be better for Stannis, or maybe Stannis can expend 2 tokens. I don't know, but yeah, no.
To make it +3.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's
No,
good. The card is strong.
That's definitely more. But it needed to nerf, because I played it at the beginning of the season. I played the Baratheon a lot.
Yep.
And like, if you have it in Kingsman, it's just like,
you
just delete a unit if you can hit them. So
I think we can agree that Stannis Rightful Heir is definitely like one of the strongest Baratheon commanders. So it's nice that they're toning down a little bit.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Well, yeah, no, from 2 to 3. No, it's still good. It's still good.
This is the boisterous charisma change for
which we talked about last episode.
So we can roll right on.
Yeah.
Can we go just a bit lower? There were other cards that we missed.
Did we skip Inexplicable Return?
Inexplicable Return.
So I checked. The only difference is it's got a cycle now. But for this, it's just the added cycle. Always nice. Oh yeah, because is this card the crappy one?
Yeah, that's the crappy one.
This was his one like crappy card, I think, right? Because you may not have attachments, no one might be dead yet, so it's kind of a dead card. You just do it out end of the round. Now you can cycle it mid-round, which is nice.
Yep, I like that option on any sort of like situational card. You should have the option to cycle it or do something alternative.
Okay. No, that's good. That's excellent. That's no problem with that. Boisterous charisma change. Okay. See here, like that's one of these change. Like, okay, like he can now reroll morale test. He can now reroll Andrew. He can now reroll morale test if opponent don't control this zone. Like, who cares about that? Like, okay, right. It's
While your opponent does not
That's
control
interesting.
crown or arm. Now, first of all, doesn't that seem already hard? Like that they don't control either?
It's actually
I think it's a good, like, if he gets attack first thing in the round, and then like you get attack with swords, and then you get envelope,
Okay, I see.
then he gets whatever, and then you get crown. So it's possible.
once you're in the
It's
combat
possible.
rounds in the middle of the
Yeah.
game, crown and
Yeah.
envelope might be the last things taken.
Yeah.
You're going to go
That's fair.
swords. You're going to go bag for the heal. You're going to go horses for positioning.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yep.
So that's actually a good little ad.
So reroll morale tests, but his cards, like he didn't have any morale cards, right? He had assault orders, he had the auto 6 charge, and he had like a card that gave him vicious or something.
Just a nice little addition. Doesn't hurt to have.
Yeah, interesting. That's morale, not panic. Guess it's
Yeah,
better
but
that way.
that's like Andrew Estremont. He was not played, not at all.
Which is so weird because he had assault orders.
If you he has assault order, but like Reckless Fury, not very good. Rush of Aggression, okay.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, no, of course, Rush of Aggression is good, but like it's not. It's like I'm gonna play the guy that has tactical approach. I'm not gonna play him. Sure, you have assault order. Congrats. You can do an attack, but me, I one shot my opponent. So
yeah. Right.
So thing is, Andrew, I'm just trying to find his play rate. He wasn't played, and like now that he can reroll morale test, he's not gonna be played more at all. Like
he's an aggressive commander competing with better aggressive commanders. So you're just gonna play them
in a faction that's not very aggressive.
but now that tactical approach has been nerfed, maybe we'll see him more.
Yeah,
maybe. But not because he can reroll morale test. This we don't care. Of course, like it's interesting for to the last. Like if you whiff to the last, you can reroll it. That can be interesting. If you have him in Queensman or Kingsman, because you can reroll morale test. But other than that, maybe this I like this change
to Davos.
He's ignoring additional attachment limits.
Is that the only change? You can now add another attachment to him?
All the outflanks are doing that now, which is good because I don't like outflank all that much. I'm going to be real. So them not taking up the attachment spot means you can be more aggressive with your outflanking units because you can put in better attachments to do something with their outflank.
Okay. Any ideas off the top of our heads of who might be a good co-pilot here? Does he have like a son who like lets you auto charge 6? Maybe that'd be kind of.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. Yeah,
very thematic.
Yeah,
it's true. Father and son combo.
Theme points.
That's fun, man. You outflank him with the Bolton Bastard Girls with the charge of 6.
Brienne the Blue. And then you have you can't do yeah. Damn, I was gonna say Brienne because you have Renly in front of them and you have Brienne behind. So if they attack either one, they're getting something.
Unfortunately, he looks so sad on that drawing. He looks much more nicer in the show on that drawing. He looks like just a homeless guy.
I mean, he does in the books. He is kind of like a sour, like sullen. Yeah. He's clutching his bag of fingers there.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
So that wraps up Baratheons.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Change.
So we've got. May as well jump Night'swatch because it's very low.
Short. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Night'swatch, who I wanted to see more with. Got nothing again, just like they never get new models.
There's a new preview of a guy with a sheath. Who knows what that may be?
More Greyjoy, I hope.
Brotherhood without banners.
That's true.
Maybe you'll have Greyjoy guys with swords someday.
Yeah. Something unique.
That's so
how about some horses?
Horses. Some horses.
Some horses.
My kingdom for a horse.
We'll give what I want. Battle seals.
Is a solo trait, iron makers and a chariot, and pulled by like a bull.
Ooh,
that's what I want.
Like a sled, maybe.
Yeah.
I want a full boat.
Full boat. Yeah.
Full boat. Half my list of points.
It's like a double cavalry tray. Yeah.
So Benjamin's kind of boring. He's got the
Yeah.
usual hidden trap nerf.
He got nerfed.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
What do you think?
Still
I
cool.
didn't speak with you guys. I don't know if you talked about it or yesterday, but what do you think about the big hidden traps nerf? Because that was a big part of the meta, hidden
Yep.
traps.
I think it's
Like
good.
when you prepare your list, you had to think like, I might place against someone that has like 3 times hidden trap in their list.
Yeah. I still think you'll see 1 or 2 hidden traps in Free Folk.
Yeah.
I still think the power in hidden traps is also in the movement reduction. So I still think like it's a very strong ability.
Yeah, it's so fun to play it on like Rose Knights and a bug or
Barathians. And if you do it on the Harpoon guys, so Borak and the Harpoon Free Folk unit, when they hit with the long range, they also apply a speed modifier. So those poor Barathian units are marching at like 3 or 4. You know, it's just like not good.
Yeah, still a good ability. Rightfully nerfed. The hits were obnoxious.
Yeah. Hits Free Folk hard.
And we got slight buffs to all the Night'swatch cards. I've been actually running Night'swatch recently. I've been playing the 5 tracker list that was pioneered by Alex.
Did you like it?
I like it a lot. It's a very different game, but it's also not as crazy as it might look. People look at it and go, "Oh, it's going to be like such a negative play experience. You can't catch them." But they're short range shooting. You got to get close. You know, you expose yourself. Yeah, facing against other cav, it's kind of scary too. So I know the changes quite closely. So sword, the changes the top part where you would only get the bonuses if they're unactivated. So now, even if they're activated, they'll become vulnerable. And if they're not activated, you also get the panic. So it's a slightly better card because if they're activated, as they might be your prime target, then it did nothing more or less. That's nice. The bottom part's still the same. Bottom part's not very exciting because it doesn't do anything if you're at full rank, sadly. It's not a real boldness and courage. Fire that burns in the cold is nice. The change is if it's your commander's unit, you auto pass panic. Auto passing always good. Yeah, especially because so many of your cards fall off if you fail panic. So having auto pass is always nice. Everything else is the same, I believe. And then for this one, the bottom part is the part that changed. If it targets your commander's unit, they cannot become panicked. So this card's actually fantastic for sticking on. I almost never use the top part.
Good. Wow.
Yeah, so you're getting +1 and you can't be panicked. So you're essentially morale 4 base without terrain penalties and stuff, which is pretty awesome. So nice little bonuses. You know, people complain about the Night'swatch deck a lot. Baby steps in the right direction.
Yeah, it's nice to see slight improvements to them. I would have liked to have seen a little more. I think them getting some units that are not 7 points would be also interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
If they could also change cold hands a little bit, maybe.
All right, so that leaves Starks and Lannisters. Why don't I'll just go right to the top. We'll just do Lannisters and we'll finish with everyone's favorite Starks. Okay. Everyone's favorite family from the north.
Oh yeah. 3 of us play a lot of
will
Starks.
Will we see Sparrow be played now, you think?
You know what? I played against him yesterday. Now my opponent knew I was playing dragons, so he took a Lannister list and tried to, beat dragons as much as he could. So he's like, all right, you have a lot of panic. I'll take Embolden. I'm going to take Knights with, Glory Seekers, the extra morale bonus. So this is a typical weakness of Lannisters, right? The little morale. So having Embolden's nice. What changed, though, we're kind of getting sidetracked here. What changed is he used to have Insight, which was gain vicious, roll high stack dice, and they swapped it for intimidating presence. Rules-wise, it's a good change because the Lannister army has so many ways to get vicious through the Lannister's debts. I don't know if the Lannister Honor Guard kept vicious or not base.
Yeah, they have vicious on ring and
yeah. So there's lots of vicious in the army already. Yeah, so they can get vicious. Okay. So to have another rule that's not vicious but still themed to morale is good. This rule is very, very powerful to block in more panic damage and etc. The only problem thematically is I thought Insight was such a great rule for the High Sparrow. You know, like
Yeah.
thematically, he's getting the poor fellows riled up and angry. So I don't know why he'd be scary.
Okay. Yeah,
That's my only beef.
It is a little bit of
intimidating
a
presence
theme
works as
miss.
well in that case. So look, like if you have to go in the principal's office and this guy sitting in front of you, intimidating
With the
presence
scars on
works.
his chest.
Yeah, that works. So, all right, I'll do whatever. Just
It's
don't kill.
it is kind of interesting because in the books he's got that
very plain.
spine of steel, but he plays it as like a soft old man, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, so I do think, I think it's worth looking at the High Sparrow. Embolden's good. His cards are actually pretty good. Mercy of the Mother,
If
Correction
we go
Heals
down,
is not too bad at all.
what's
Oh, his
turn
cards got
card?
changed, didn't they? That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Cards get good, like +3 hits. Wow.
There's still morale tests, which is good for faithful.
Mm-hmm. No, there's something to do with him, I think.
Yeah, so Mercy of the Mother, I actually don't even remember the old version. I played against this yesterday, so
Pull it up for you.
Yeah, I have to
So
double
Mercy of
check
the
it.
Mother used to be when a friendly combat unit activates. This
Yep.
unit performs 1 morale test. So right away, you're already getting an additional benefit because you're removing a condition token right
Which
away.
Lancers don't have.
Yep. And that's the only difference. So you're just getting extra utility out of it immediately. Kind of like what
Cool.
they did with Iron Price and Greyjoy, which I liked a lot.
Cool.
And then Protection of the Father. One enemy is performing a melee attack after rolling defense dice. That's exactly the same. On a success, so previously, on a success, you would be able to re-roll any defense dice. Now you're just getting flat +3 blocking. And on failure, you block +1 hit. That was always the same. So instead of having to re-roll and earn your blocks, which is particularly good for, let's say you're saving on 6s, you're in a faithful unit, and you're this is better for the kind of unit you're going to pair with High Sparrow, the faithful who are already going to be low armor.
And arguably even Warrior Sons, right? Because they have that pseudo harden, so to have even more blocks is
it's gonna
really
make them
obnoxious.
even more unkillable.
Yeah.
That's a good change.
Yeah.
And thematic.
We got Sam back. Sam, we were just talking about Protection of the Father and how it's basically just giving auto blocks when you pass the test instead of having to re-roll the dice, and how that will synergize well with the faithful units.
Sorry, some connection problems.
No worries. And you know what? If I give you, let's say you had a unit that had good armor saves, okay? And when you do it after rolling dice, so I guess you can even see how many saves you. Let's say you botched a bunch of saves, right? Let's say you have a 3+ save, your Knights, your Honor Guard, whatever, and you botch a bunch of saves, and you have the option to re-roll or just block free. Like if you're comparing the old card to the new card, like what would you take? You'd take the auto 3, right? You'd be like, I will just.
It's more reliable. It's more consistent.
Yeah.
And also, in reality, you're using this card when you're getting hit, like with Sundering on the side or something, and your defense save reroll probably won't be as effective. Like
That's
this
true.
is a
Very strong.
Like that's actually cool, because if your opponent spend resources getting your flank, and you play that to block the hits, that's actually good.
If I have Protection of the Father in my hand, I might play a little more loose with my next attack. I might let you get in the side.
And then it's mind games. Does he have the card? Does he not have the card? What's he doing?
Okay, so
Is there
High
something
Sparrow.
else? Is there another card in the game that allows to block +3 hits? Joffrey is +2 hits, but
I can't think of any that's +3.
No,
that's a big number.
That's a lot.
That's
especially
hardened.
In pair with hardened as well, right? Imagine you're attacking the Warrior Sons. They're on last rank. They pop hardened. They pop this. It's like
Okay, so High Sparrow's looking pretty solid. And then I've heard a lot of chatter about these guys who I already was playing, just because I like them, but now they're more playable.
Yeah, this is a big change.
So I guess we'll just dive in. So what they used to do was they had the same stat line. So a very respectable stat line, right? 3+ save, 5+ morale, very durable. Movement 5 was a big change. It used to be 8 points of movement 4. They made them cheaper and faster, so they can actually get into the game. their attack degrades very little. It used to be always vicious, and then based on tokens, you would get bonus uses by expending those tokens. And no one ever did that stuff because you were almost always better off just using the token as the token 99% of the time. So they finally learned that, okay, this is not a good way to do things, and they revamped it to a list of cool stuff: Vicious, Sundering, Defender loses all abilities. That one might be the best one, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
And then
Yeah.
reroll attack dice.
Which is
can be nasty.
which is the same as when you had to give up the tokens. The only one I ever did was the panic for that ability.
Yeah. And then if you
Imagine,
got
okay,
tokens, you choose more from the list.
Yeah. So let's say you have Hear Me Roar in your hand. As a Lannister player, you activate Tywin Bomb. You give vulnerable and weaken to the opponent.
Ooh.
You choose Vicious, Sundering, and remove all abilities. To attack, you deal a couple of wounds, and if your opponent has anything like Iron Resolve, Stalwart, you lose it. And you can really shred with the Hear Me Roar. So that's actually like a good way to use a Hear Me Roar or Tywin Bomb against units that have abilities that protects them against panic.
I'd like to see this same change done to Vargo Hoat as well. Any of these commanders where or units where their whole thing is remove the condition to get value out of your thing is really bad design.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I like that they used to have Vicious by default, but now you get one of the things by default, but you can choose situationally what's best for you.
Yeah,
because if you have Lannister bases deaths on them activated, then you just choose something else in Vicious. Before it wasn't even worth it playing it on them. So no, that's excellent.
And I want to say that we know that Tywin also turns off all abilities anyway, but you often Tywin another
you use
unit.
it on another unit. Exactly.
That was going to come in and help you, so it's very valuable that you can just turn them off on your own ability.
Yeah. Iron Makers hate this guy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So yeah, no, that's a really cool change. So only thing is, okay, Lannister, you have with including neutrals, you have a lot of way to give panic tokens. Again, with neutrals and all their resources, you have a lot of way of giving weaken tokens. Vulnerable, we went through it. There's ways, of course, but not as easily as the two other tokens. So you're more often than not going to have two tokens, which is already really
it's perfect.
Yeah.
Really good. Especially if you have like Lannister is dead, Vicious, and two tokens, you get all the abilities. That's beast of a unit.
I think Lannister is one of the most consistent in putting out tokens. High sells and everything. So
my story with that unit is that they got released. I said, wow, they look really cool. I bought a box, and then they showed what they do, and I was like, that's like the worst fucking unit in the game because they used to move 4. And then I left them alone, and then they buffed them. I was still not enough, and then they buffed them, and still not enough. But now I might pay them.
they do look really cool. The sculpts alone make them something worth owning if you play Lannister.
Absolutely. And what's the change below? That's guards. Oh no, knights. Oh Knights. Yeah, knights. They should give high garden lands to the Knights of Casterly Rock.
With a comma.
Yeah.
With a comma.
And a cost increase.
You know, someone actually said, not joking, that maybe all knights
should hit on 4 and 3 on charge.
Should hit on 4s and only 3 on the charge. Exactly.
And then you can keep the 10 dice because you don't mind, you weaken them, and if you don't weaken them, you deserve to die. So
so that's something to consider. You know, another little buff maybe in the future or nerf.
Yeah, I think that would have been the best way to fix it.
I mean,
that's because now all they did, like Lance was big part of the meta, big part. Well, Knights of Casterly Rock and Tullycav, and now all they did is, all right, so that's the meta. That's really good. We're gonna remove them 1 dice. Like, really? That's all you could come up with. Like, let's just remove 1 dice to the 2 of the best units in the game. Okay.
So maybe we did talk about this a lot. Yes, Sam. What would you do?
Me? Hit on 4. +1 to hit on charge. That's it. That's nothing else.
So it still makes them super explosive though when they want to kill you, right?
Yeah. But once engaged, they're even weaker. So me, I don't mind. That would be the meta where you have to build and work to survive the charge, and then they're useless.
But I feel like the problem now
But yeah,
is
maybe still
they just kill you on the
like,
charge, right? The problem now is
like,
Berserker Tactics,
the
Tywin
Night
Bomb.
Yeah.
Couldn't make that out. It's
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say that like if you made them hit on 4s or hit on 3s in the charge, nothing's really changed. I feel because the problem is they just kill you on the charge, right? With Tywin Bomb, Berserker Tactics, Hear Me Roar, blah 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 blah.
No, but still with 9 dice on the charge, you still remove the dice, hitting on 4s +1 to hit.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, double. Yeah, a little more nerf. Got it.
It still has to be a threat. Like they still have to be able to one-shot you if they charge. That's the point of them. But just make it a bit more difficult. And then once they've used their great strength, if you played your cards well and managed to survive the charge, then they're useless. And you keep them engaged and you kill them. And
got it. Okay, I understand.
I'd like to see more interplay between unit types. So ranged having a counter against cavalry, pikes having a range counter against cavalry. Cavalry should destroy infantry on charges. Like there should be more reference of their like what type of unit
actual
it is.
medieval battles.
Yeah.
I know we're not playing the most realistic or historically accurate war game ever, but we can still have a little bit of that realism. We have a little bit of that gameplay element.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because right now, guys with swords and guys with spear are the same as good against cavalry, but historically that's not true.
Yeah.
And when a cav charges another cav, it should be less impactful because it's two horses. You know, they're smaller targets. But
yeah, cool. Let's move on. What else?
we're wrapping up with the Starks. So I mean, Mira, we can just skip hidden traps again. Same old. And then we got a few cards, and then a couple of units, 3 units. So 3 cards, 3 units. Not a ton for the Starks, but Warcry, same old thing here.
Love the change. Because right now it's quite fun to play. I already had a bit of love for Brendan Tully with the double Tully Cav list, because you have Warcry that you can play to heal, and then you cycle it with Sansa, and you just keep on playing Warcry to heal your Tully Cav. That's quite fun. But now you give both tokens with the Tully Cav, so that's just nasty.
Even better.
Yeah, I love it. I like it. Good change.
It's an easy thumbs up.
This card is crazy.
Yeah.
This card is crazy. So
what changed?
So the old version, I believe. You know what?
Was it maybe because of commander? If it's long range, I have a friend.
No, it got a big change.
No long range. Yeah, okay, but because there was no thing of long range, it was just it treated.
Okay, so here's the old version. So the old version was on activation. So in other words, the opponent can still do nothing. They can just sit there, right? So the old version was on activation. If they're in long range, it's -1 movement. Now it's just when they've committed to an action, maneuver, march, retreat, they're -1 movement. So the range.
So that's just dumb.
They swapped the two.
Yeah, and then so the old version was if they did do maneuver, march, retreat, it was dangerous terrain. But again, when they activate, you play this card, they can say, oh, if I move with dangerous terrain, I'm not going to move anymore, right? Now they have said, I'm going to maneuver, march, retreat. They're definitely moving through dangerous terrain now.
Okay, so let's say you're a Lannister player. You have the mountain in your in your list, and you're playing Howland Reed, and you don't have counterplot in your hand. What do you do with the mountain? You just cannot play him, because then if you activate. Normally, before your opponent calls the card and you say, "Oh, I do nothing." Now you don't know if you get it, so you activate the mountain. Do you do a maneuver? You do maneuver. He plays the card. You get D3 +1. Who? He doesn't. He die. 1 chance out of 3 dies. If he doesn't die, you've done your cavalry maneuver. Do you do your other maneuver? No, you just get a die. So you just You receive damage for nothing. And then after that, because it's so fun playing against Starks, he gets the card back with Sansa.
Gross. You don't bring your
my
mountain
God.
list against Howland on the if that's one of the two.
No.
No. And Jorah.
Same thing. That's why you don't get Jorah the mountain or else
Any
in
of the
both
solos.
in both your list. Just
This
one.
card might be worse than Berserker Tactics in a way.
Yeah.
Right?
What's with
Because you don't have
Stark
to be in
getting all
combat.
the automatic wound, like the worst versions of that? It's all Stark.
Yeah. Just you've committed to the move, take wounds, I'm gonna cycle it back.
Yep.
That's gross.
Yeah.
And I really liked Howland. I think Howland's actually a really cool commander. It's really easy to spread out the Crannogman influence. You're gonna take Crannogman anyway, probably. You're gonna take Mira probably. He makes his own unit Crannogman. The extra shooting is awesome. Yeah, this guy is pretty tasty.
Do you think there's a way to build a competitive list with only Crannogman units?
Only Crannogman units. No.
There's only
I
two
think-
units, right?
Yeah,
You
no,
can
I
make
know that you can make things Crannogman.
make it Crannogman.
Mira.
Mira,
right.
Mira
Yeah.
in the Winterfell Guards. Is that a good unit? Is that a good 7-point unit?
Ooh.
I almost ran that at the tournament this weekend, and I switched it to their own attachment last minute.
Me,
not
I
bad.
think it's not bad. No, it's for sure not bad. It's a 7-point infantry that don't hit that tar hard, isn't that tanky, and hidden trap is not that good anymore. So it's not bad. It's not good. Me, I think it's possible. And I'm gonna do one, and I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, cool. When I ran Howland back in the day, I actually ran it a lot like your Umber list because I wanted lots of activation so that if you ever moved into Howland's shooting range, he would overwatch you with that card, right? Anyway,
and then superior positioning is the same as Martel, which okay, cool. So it just got from bad card to okay card, I think.
Yeah.
But it's so dumb that it has to be in the front. Like, well, okay. I guess it's because if you got flanked, you're not in a superior position. So sure, okay, that makes sense.
Does it say front? Oh, it is in the front.
Specify
unit in the
bad.
front. Because if you
My
got
bad.
flanked, you cannot say that you have superior positioning. So
I guess it's true.
Yeah.
that makes
That
sense.
is true.
Okay, cool.
All right, just the hidden traps
The
here.
trap change.
Hidden trap nerf.
Still a good unit. 5 points,
Yep.
stored vulnerable tokens, move
And
6. Still
we
Here's
good.
talked about this.
The big villains of the previous season, and this is all that happened to them.
Is this the last thing we get
Yeah.
to talk about?
No,
Yeah.
there's the other tellies.
Yeah,
Can we
I
talk
think
about
they
this
just-
and come back to Telly Cav because they're a bigger
Sure.
discussion?
So with this, it's just that they're now a 5 movement.
Love it. Love it.
Love it. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Now they're actually playable, I think.
Yeah.
They'll get in the game.
Yes. They can
Okay,
actually
so-
fight.
Do
I
you
played
know?
them at the Grand Class, or not Grand Class, the Great Canadian Open.
Do you know why I never played them?
Too slow. And hit on force.
But do you know like if a newer player is listening, how would you explain to them why you never take a defensive 4-move unit in your list?
Because they won't be the focal point of the attacks.
No,
Yeah.
because they will never get on the objective first. You want them to sit objective and score points. If you take horse with hostile cav advance forward and march, you're still not on the center objective. If you take horse with 5 move and then march, then you are on the middle objective. That's it. One difference of speed make the difference between being on the middle objective round 1 or not. So this is a huge change because now what you can do with them is horse and then march, and then round 1 you're on in Game of Thrones or Honed and Ready or whatever. You can set them all fucking game on the middle objective and stay there. So it's actually a big change. Now I would consider playing them.
Yeah.
Also, they work with Brendan's card now, the Warcry.
Exactly. Well, with Warcry, they can be nasty. You have Tolikav near the heal on the Warcry. That's really something.
What does Brendan do? Does he give enemies no charge bonus?
He gives no charge bonus and stalwart.
Oh, so that unit is crazy. Right?
Commander.
Yeah, Commander
And
Brennan makes it
yeah,
like
Commander.
pretty damn hard to kill. No charge bonus
Yeah.
against people save, shield wall, morale 4 with stubborn tenacity, pretty good.
Yeah. So you put him with them on the middle objective in the well, pretty much any game mode except like Here We Stand and Fire and Blood, and that's like 5 points almost guaranteed, and for six points of your army. So if your opponent has two choices, either he tries to kill you, and even if he does, he's gonna have spent so much resources that you're gonna win fights elsewhere, or they leave you there and you have 5 free victory points for not that much, and it's not how you play Starks normally, but that's a good option now.
Yeah. All right, the Devil. Now, the only change, of course, is the Lance reduction. What I wanted to chat with everyone about is what should have they done? Because the problem was not their explosive. I mean, that is part of the problem, but the bigger problem is their sustain, right? The rally banner rule is ridiculous, right? When you combine it with the Winterfell Guardian for Dauntless, when you combine it with Eddard NCU that also heals, it was their amazing sustain that made them a problem.
So I think it's 2 seasons now they have Rally Banner. Rally Banner is not a skill that should exist in this game, period, for me. I played them a lot. I exploited the strength. So imagine because we're used to it. When I saw it the first time, I was like, what are they talking about? Why did they do this? Like, imagine a unit that say, okay, because basically what they do is in short range, they give Dauntless to an other unit, but even better because it can be stacked with Dauntless. Imagine you say, okay, each enemy in short range gains boldness and courage. Each allied unit in short range gains Iron Resolve. Each friendly unit in short range gains precision. Like, it doesn't exist. No, nothing does that. So, like, you have Embolden, but Embolden is just +1 morale. That's right. That's what they had before. So, for me, this should not even exist.
Yeah.
It should be something else.
If it had an order token to it, maybe
you remove fucking Rally Banner and put fucking Rally Cry. That's it. That's the end of the game. They don't
Rally
heal
Cry
themselves.
for the heal. Oh, to heal others.
You just do that. Like, they heal others. You can put the Winterfell Guardian to give them Dauntless. They heal themselves. That's what I would do to fix this, and I think no one would complain then, because first of all, you're gonna heal and it's still an 8-point unit. And Rally Cry is good skill, but it's not game breaking. No one will complain about it. And then of course you can have builds with the Eddard that you have like 3 Rally Cry, and then
that's what would happen, Sam. That's what would happen. You just see triple Rally Cry. Okay, but let me ask you this: it would be crazy to say, what if they just took off Rally Banner, kept them the same, because they actually have better morale than Lannister Cav do? Like, is that not still playable at 8 points?
No, not at 8 points.
That's
because
fair.
Lannister supremacy is worth more than 1 morale point.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's true. Yeah. So you need something.
But I would put them back to 6 morale. Absolutely.
So what you could do,
like all other landscape.
Yeah, make them 6 morale. But what you could do is turn Rally Banner into an order, and when a friendly unit in short range passes morale, the unit restores 2 wounds. So it's happening once.
Also, yeah, that's definitely an option. Yeah, but then again, at this point, I would put Rally Cry in them. So
I think Rally Cry would be much stronger though.
Yeah, Rally Cry would be the same problem.
And then I'm worried because now you're getting Rally Cry stacked lists.
Okay, so maybe I said something to fix it, but it's even stronger. So that's just like my Stark fantasies playing out. Maybe, yeah. I'm thinking about it. Like I see like people putting like just 3 telecasts to have Rally Cry all game. Maybe not a great idea. I take that back.
That would happen.
I like Sean's idea about them trying to they made orders a thing and they should use it more, and I think that's a good idea. It could be an order where it's 1 wound +1 per destroyed rank, which is a Stark type thing.
Yeah, or the exact thing that in Night's Watch the commander has Jorah Mormont.
The order where if you pass morale, you heal
Yeah,
a
but then
war
again,
in
people are gonna spam it. So it's either you remove rally banner and put like give them like whatever iron resolve or I don't know, or it's gonna be something super good and people are gonna spam it because it's such a good base unit. Like even Knights of Casterly Rock, it's such a good base unit. The
Yeah.
armor, mobility, the offense. If Rally Cry, too good. That's for sure. Everyone agrees Rally Cry is
Yeah.
too good. You have to give
Yeah.
something that people don't really care about, or you're still gonna see double Tolicap lists.
Yeah, maybe it's a bigger problem than Rally Banner because Lancers. Some people do play like when your list is going to be double Lance Cav. I mean,
Oh, for
Phil
sure.
used to play triple Lance Cav, right?
For sure.
So maybe it's not. I mean, maybe no matter what you give them, even if it's a very minor rule, the fact that it's just Lance Cav who are sturdy with a 3+ save and 9 dice lance on the 9 dice centering on the charge is the bigger problem. I just want to live in a world where we don't take double Tully Cap, double Castley Rocks in one of our two lists all the time. This is boring.
I think the bigger
It is,
problem
yeah,
though
no,
is less the individual unit and more that you need cavalry. Cavalry counters bad
right,
positioning.
yeah.
Cavalry can fly across the map with its maneuver charge. Like the root issue is really just
I
cavalry.
was gonna say,
Yes.
if you
I
really
have
want to get rid of that, you get rid of the food maneuver on cavalry.
Oh, Chris, you're really muffled for some reason.
Oh, sorry, I was saying, if you really want to get rid of like the 2 cav always being picked, you get rid of the free maneuver on cavalry.
Yeah, but it's just sad. Yeah, and then people aren't gonna play cavalry anymore. So
Maybe it'd be a free pivot. Because it's
yeah,
really
but
the
So
cavalry
boost of movement
you could
plus.
pivot march. You could pivot march.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but cavalry has to be faster than infantry. That's just
So,
like
Sean,
Sure.
you got a better game designer mind. What if they gave them just a big movement stat? Like they said they're moving
Yeah, 6 or 7 moves like as a flat on all cav.
Yeah.
right? No free maneuver. Just make your move stat 8.
Yeah, with a pivot, maybe. But I mean, the problem for me is the pivot means my big bugbear about cavalry is you can't flank them. You can't set up,
Yeah.
like, one thing I like to do is I like to set up advanced plays where, like, I know the end of the round is coming, so I'm going to play a positioning move. But if I don't have first player for the next round, I can have the biggest brain play in the world and it won't matter because they can just turn 180
That's right.
and then come back at me
That's
and it
right.
just invalidates everything.
That's right.
So I
yeah,
don't
but
like
then
that
again,
they
you're a
remove.
Greyjoy player, so you're
I'm a Greyjoy free folk player. I hate
Yeah.
cavalry move
But you have some great cavalry now in your faction in Free Folk. So
in free folk. Yeah, Harmless Vanguard. That's
Yeah, they're beautiful. And the bears, right? The bears are also
it's the bears and the chariots. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
but no, me personally, I would not touch the core mechanic of cavalry. I think it's okay like that. It's the base. Like in medieval warfare, you want cavalry for the maneuverability. If you don't have maneuverability, the horse are just gonna pull the chariots and bring you food to your army. They're not gonna be at the fight. So no, me, I don't think I would change the core mechanic and like find me one historical battle, Sean, and then I'll argue to find me one historical battle where infantry flanked cavalry, and I'll say sure, Sean, you're right. We changed the core mechanic. So
sure.
so
And that's fine. I wouldn't even change the core mechanic. To be honest, I was just spitballing other ideas. What you should really do is you should have advantages against cavalry. Like pikes should have an advantage against cavalry. Range should have an advantage against cavalry.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That
everything.
that would help.
Yeah, like again, I'm spitballing, and they cannot do it like this, but like set for charge should do like +2 hits on cavalry or something like that. There should be like somewhat some kind of bonus for units like Unsullied Pikemen or Shadow Tower Spearmen or Karstark Spearmen to do something extra against cavalry. Because it's not only thematic, but it would give good. I don't think Greyjoy have spearmen, right?
No,
they don't. Well, they have those guys with like the little javelins, but that's not the
no,
same thing.
yeah, they don't have any spearmen, but that could just come out next. I'm okay with that.
Maybe. more
would not have spearmen. It's not their style.
Not really, no. All right, well, that pretty much sums up all the changes. There was one I wanted to bring up with Sam here because it was in a chat with Sean, and some of the local guys here, and I don't know if we specifically addressed it yesterday about Doran and picking multiple things
Right.
with his ability. Like
Do you want me
Jordan kind of
to?
led that conversation, and I don't remember if we actually
So
discussed specifically.
the definite interpretation is that you cannot select more than once the same option in at the same time when you activate Doran.
Yeah, we
It's
talked
what I
about it,
thought.
but we may
like
have gotten the.
everywhere else in the game, if you can select the same option more than once, it is specifically written. So
Yeah, we may have described it wrong yesterday, but since taking a look at it again closer, 100% it's as Sam said. It says you can for each token, so you get one by base, but plus one. Wait, no, ignore me. You get one for each token. And for sure, it says select one of the following effects for each token.
Yeah.
And at every other instance in the game, as Sam pointed out, anytime you have a list of effects and you can pick them, it'll specify if you can pick multiple from them.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to pick a unique effect for each token, meaning
Cool.
you can't just stack 4 auto wounds and go, okay,
Still
I
very
delete
good.
solo.
Like
Still
this
amazing.
Still very
Doran
good.
thing, I love it. I love it because it's not too strong. That's definitely not too strong. It's
Yeah.
just cool.
What? Wait,
I
what?
love it.
What?
It's
It's
not
not too strong.
it's not too strong. I think
No,
it's actually
not.
fair at 4
It
now
isn't.
too. If it was
Yeah,
working the way previously, the way it was with 4 auto wounds or 4 heals, that's worth 5.
Yeah.
But if it's, and I like how it's also more faces.
Clarence
I like how it's more thematic with Martel too. It's small incremental
Yeah,
effects that make a bigger snowball
Yeah.
like over time. Like the impact on the game, if you look at it, like every second turn, he's gonna trigger and get 4 of the things.
Clarence.
It's great. Don't get me wrong, and it's gonna have a big impact over the game. But there's only 6 rounds in the game, so
Mhm.
yeah.
Clarence, what the reason why I say it's not too strong, how I explain that? The ability itself is good. It's strong, of course. It's strong. It's not too strong, but it's strong.
Yes. Yes.
But bringing a 6th zone in a game,
Yep.
that's dangerous.
yep.
You
You're
have to
enabling
know how to play
both
that.
players
Yeah, you have
3
to know how to play that.
NCUs.
Oh, me, I love it when
That's
people.
it's an equal buff though.
Oh yeah,
guess.
it's an equal buff, but
Yeah.
not everyone is able to exploit the buff as well as others. Me, I love it when someone breaks the 6th zone. I absolutely love it
Right.
because I can play so much more freely, depending on the faction, of course. Like with Baratheon, who cares? I have 7 activation, but like with me, if I play the dragon list, 10 activation with Marcelin, with Daenerys that give free attack with dragon, if I can have a 6th zone on the board, I'm
It's
so
amazing.
happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. So
Sam, here's a question for you. If you're playing Doran, the new Doran, are you also running Tyene? Because you're bringing the 6th zone, you want Tyene's poison, right, to sort of have more NCU pressure and control.
no, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Tyene is 5 points, right?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
she's
it's
cool. The
expensive
new
for
ability is
NCUs.
cool. The new ability is cool. No, I think I still keep Ariane.
Ariane's
Doran,
really
Ariane,
good
Ilaria.
too.
Yeah,
If you're gonna
Ariane,
go 5
Ilaria,
NCU, Ariane's always value, right?
But
Turning off your
to be honest, like Diane, maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe she's gonna be good. It's something I think I need to see in action to decide. Because I know like when it was released, I remember when it was released. It's the first tournament I saw. And the first time I played against Martel is the GCO 2 years ago, where I first met both of you, Sean, and I don't think Chris. Chris, I didn't see you there yet. And I played Martel, and I was playing Adam, and he put Diane the poison, and he put them on like I was playing Stark, and he didn't put it on the sword. He put like on the envelope, and I was like, and of course we didn't knew yet. And I was like, that poison, it's not, who cares? It's not even good. I'm just not gonna take a zone. And then round 4, I took the zone, and then round 6, Sansa died and whatever. And then played another game online against Martel player who knew better, and he blocked me the sword. And I was like, fuck man, that's just a fucking pain. And then as time went, we didn't see Tyene that much anymore. I don't know again what's her play rate. with that new change, is it me or she? It's a buff. It's definitely a buff what she got,
Oh,
right?
it's a big buff. She does everything
Big
she
buff.
did previously, but better.
But
Yeah.
better. It's just the unit dies later. Because before
Yes.
it could die round 4, now it dies round 5.
But not
so,
but
yeah,
not really, because a good player was always going to have their NCU die around the same time.
Yeah,
He never took it round
exactly.
2. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it always worked out the same
Okay.
anyways.
So yeah, you had ways where it wasn't too costly to delay, and then when you needed the zone, you took it, and it died further. Now if you take it round 2, 3, 4, it's gonna die round 5 anyway. So
Yep.
so now I think we might see her more. I think so, and she might even be like one of those things that you bring to a tournament just in case you play Starks. Right on front, you're gonna lose one NCU. So,
Yep.
so and one way I played it at some point is I took the poison with Eddard 5 points, and
Yep.
then when it was about to die, I used his abilities to sacrifice. So I lost him, but I gained with it. But now you cannot do that anymore because
Yeah.
you lose all abilities. That's really
Yeah.
nasty.
We talked about
So,
that yesterday. Eddard and Corrin.
Yeah, and the other guy in Baratheon, the old guy.
Oh yeah,
Crescent.
Crescent.
Crescent, yeah.
But poison does strengthen Gilly. She loves poison.
Makes Gilly better.
Oh wow, really? Oh wow, that's good. So you just get a free NC. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so yeah, that I think we will see her more because that's now interesting. Like you block swords for Stark player, you block envelope, you block purse for Lannister. No, it can be.
I
It can be
mean, I
interesting.
think against a lot of factions, you always block sword because so much of the Martell cards trigger off swords, right? You want to remove rising temperatures.
Oh
you
yeah,
wanna
yeah,
remove-
true.
So swords is just a great spot. Period.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's maybe, and then you have to put her in a list that is not made to fight free folk. Your your second list that you bring in case you face free folk, it cannot have her because free folk don't care about zone. They're just avoid her and do something else and take the swords. They don't need the swords and they don't need to
Craster and
control
Val
four
can
cards.
zone replace.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't really care about that. So if it has to be like your list, anti-Stark, anti-Lannister list, that can work. Cool, guys. So me, I go to sleep. I should have been asleep already 2 hours ago, but Chris bullied me into joining.
I'm glad you made it, Sam. Glad you made it.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, and this was another
Cool.
great round table. So thanks, guys, for taking the time. And after we played a bit, we'll have to touch base again and see where we think of things after some games under the belt.
All right, see you guys.
All right,
have a good night.
Thanks,
guys.
Thanks,
night, y'all.
Chris.
If you enjoy this content, please take a moment to like and subscribe. May the old gods and the new smile on you. Good gaming.